Hello, hello, hi there. Come on in, come on in. I'm Kat, it's great to have you here. Welcome to this video on how to create a powerful USP. 5 fun ways to create a powerful USP, which is a unique selling proposition, and stand out online. Welcome. I would love to chat with you. If you're on here live, I would love to know that you're here. So just give me a hello in the chat box, in the comments box, and I can't wait to share with you. So 5 fun ways to create a powerful USP. If you haven't already, grab a pen and notebook because you're going to want to make notes in this session. I'm going to be dropping 5 ways and you're going to want to capture these. So I'm going to be dropping some gems tonight. So welcome those of you who come regularly. I know there's some people that come regularly every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I've been doing these for over a year and a half now. So there's some of you that come every single week and others of you that have just joined. So welcome wherever you are in your stage of the journey. So why is it important for us to create a USP? A USP, also known as a unique selling proposition, is something that helps you stand out online. Basically what it is it's a way of differentiating you from your competitors. So you think about clients, followers, people who are searching for solutions online. They are overwhelmed with options, right? And they want to quickly be able to identify why you're different to your competitors. So they want to know, why would I choose you as a life coach as opposed to this other person as a life coach? Or why would I choose you when I can have this person for cheaper? What is it that makes you better? So it really is about being better, being different, and being able to clearly articulate your unique message with your followers. Now, this can be through social media, on email, if you're being interviewed on a podcast or Facebook live video, anywhere that you show up online, you really want to be aware of your USP and talking about how you're different. So you don't just say it once, you don't just create it, put it in a drawer or in a folder or put it on your wall. You consistently show up showing your uniqueness. So that's the first thing I want you to really bear in mind, is that this is not just a put it with your vision, mission, and value statement in your business plan and then forget it. Every time you show up online, I want you to be thinking about why you're unique, why someone would listen to you, and just keep repeating that message. You might feel like a broken record. I know I do sometimes, repeating the same messages, but repetition is the mother of skill, and it's also the way that people get to know your brand, your messaging, and what makes you unique. So hello, hi Rachel, thanks for joining. Hi Carolyn, great to have you here. Hello Anonymous, I don't know who you are, but welcome. So it's crucial for you to have this to help you guide your marketing decisions as well. So USP, also commonly referred to as unique selling proposition, it is what makes your business stand out. At its core, it should quickly answer that question that your potential clients have in their mind, which is what makes you different to other options that I'm looking at. So that's it in a nutshell. So a really compelling USP, it should be memorable, and it should be specific and tangible. So it shouldn't be, for example, we deliver fast service, or we have a high quality service. You know, that's very vague, very general. We want it to be specific and tangible. Like, what is it specifically that your offer, that your way of teaching, your methodology, your framework or formula, for example, what is it that makes it different? It should also be focused on what your clients value, because there's no point being unique just for unique's sake. You know, your clients need to value what it is that makes you different, and for it to be important to them so that they really truly care about it. And it's more than just a slogan, right? It's more than just something tagline that you put up on your website. It's, you know, a slogan is one way that you can take your USP out and communicate it, but it's also something that you can embody in every area of your business. The way you show up, the way you combine your uniqueness and craft a message behind it, you start to embody that, and it goes out in every platform and in every channel. So it is really important that you think about what it is that makes you unique. Now, the reason I'm thinking about this is because I've helped 3 clients with this week. So it was a bit of a theme, and also it's something that I've been thinking about because I've been writing an article for a magazine and just thinking, how can I make this different? What is it? What is that thing that makes me stand out from other businesses that help people grow their business? You know, there's so many businesses that help people grow their business, which is what I do. So really the way I think about it is that your USP is the sweet spot between what your client wants, so what they want, and then what you are really good at, what your business does well. It's that sweet spot. If you think of what your client wants, what your business does well, and that sweet spot in the middle, that is what your USP is. So I've got 5 fun ways to help you create your USP so that you can stand out online more. So write these down if you're taking notes. Number 1, unpack your uniqueness. Unpack your uniqueness. So I want you to think about, what are some of those things that you do that other people struggle to do, but you do it really naturally, really easily. Like, I was working with a client today, and we're working on her webinar. She's got a webinar right now, actually, and we're working on crafting her framework in a way that is very step by step. And she goes, this is something I don't think about. And I said, well, this is things that I think about all the time. And so it might come naturally. She goes, I can't believe we're doing this today and the webinar's tonight. And I was like, we'll bust it out. We'll get it. And she couldn't believe how quickly we could come up with that framework, just because it's something that comes pretty effortlessly for me because I do it all the time with my clients. So think about your unconscious competence, the areas that you just think, that's not hard. Everyone can do that. Well, the fact is, not everybody can do it. It just feels easy to you because you've done it so long. It's your unique brilliance. It's what they call your genius zone. And people pay really good money for a great genius zone, for a zone of genius where someone has not only got talent and gifting is innate. People are born with talent and gifting, but in terms of mastery, in terms of skill acquisition takes time and effort. So when you take your gift, something that you were just kind of born with that feels natural, and you develop it, you strengthen it, you acquire skills to support it, you seek mentorship, and you really hone that skill. That's the difference between just being gifted, being talented, and actually being masterful at a skill, because you've honed it, you've unpacked it. You're not just, oh yeah, I'm brilliant at it. You've unpacked that gift, you've unwrapped the gift, and you've developed it. So what kind of things have you really developed that other people haven't developed? Also think about what your friends, family, clients, people that you know, people in your community, what would they say that you're really great at? That's another way of like really unpacking your uniqueness, what makes you you. And then think about your personality, because not everyone wants to work with certain personality types. So just your personality can be enough to differentiate you from other people. I was listening to a podcast today, and there's this lady, she was talking about Clubhouse, and she's like, find me, I'm Coach Glitter on Clubhouse. And this is kind of her persona, Coach Glitter. She is known for this. And so that's part of her personality. She's very bubbly. So it's your personality, it's your skills, like I mentioned, your skill acquisition, but also think about how you're different. So I think about just really simple things. People get kind of scared with USP, that it has to be this really crazy thing that no one else is doing, but it doesn't have to be completely wild. So it could be something like for me, for example, I feel that I'm a good combination of practical business skills and strategy, and also mindset and spiritual side of business. So that's 2 things that I combine in my business that make me a little bit different. I think about the fact that I only ever teach what I do. So some people are just learning, teaching, but they're not actually applying it and getting success before they teach other people it. I think about my background as a teacher and a trainer. For six years, I was a teacher, a trainer, and assessor. I was a lecturer in business and in fitness. So my training background makes it my ability to run a full day workshop online, for example, makes it a little bit different to maybe some people that don't have that background. So think about work you've done in the past. Think about different combinations of things that you've done that make you different. For example, the very first person who taught me presenting skills when I first came to Sydney, his name was Sean. Shout out to you, Sean, if you're ever watching this. He had a background in copywriting, so he had this incredible ability to teach presenting skills. And because of his skill, and he used to be a copywriter, he pulled that skill set into his presenting skills, and it was a really unique combination. It was actually why I signed up to his program. So think about work you've done in the past. Like, I was 10 years as a weight loss coach and personal trainer. So now the way I use that is a lot of my clients are in wellness. I understand the process of transformation. I understand a lot of people that are in health, fitness, wellness, any type of holistic health business. I can really help them with that. Like, I was speaking to two ladies yesterday. They've got a gym in Melbourne, and I'm helping them with their whole sales process because I worked in a gym for so long. So think of all the things you've done, the background that you've done. I think about how I've got NLP background, and so understanding mindset and breaking through limiting beliefs, which come up in business all the time. I think about the fact that I used to train bodybuilders, champion bodybuilders, world champions. And so I understand resilience, the entrepreneurial mindset of having to push through when things are hard, having to reframe, all of that. So think about how you're different, and that's really what makes up your uniqueness. So I'd love to know from you, what is it that makes you a little bit different? Those of you who are on here live, just put in the comments box, what are some of the things that make you a little bit unique? I would love to hear. How will you unpack your uniqueness? Okay, number 2 is dig for the difference. Dig for the difference. So this is really around how your program is different. So you've got your own uniqueness. People will be attracted to you because you're different. And then what is it in your program or in your offer, in your service, that could be a little bit different? So maybe you want to include some done for you components where you actually do some of the work for them. So I do that usually as a bonus, where I might do a done for you landing page for my clients, or some done for you copywriting, or do some copywriting makeovers for my clients. I also offer like a lifetime access to my modules, my online course. That's something that not everybody offers. So when you think through the components of your offer, your program, what are some things that maybe other people don't offer? Maybe you're really good at making things very clear and step by step. You're very good at organizing your knowledge and taking someone through step by step. Maybe your program has some one-on-one components because you're still a small business. You're small enough for it to be really personalized. So something that makes me a little bit different is that I've learned from really big companies, really big multi-millionaire companies. I've invested lots of money in them. I've learned a lot of strategy from them, but my business is still at a point where I can be personalized, where you don't get lost in the crowd and become a number, where I can have a really small, specific mastermind of a small amount of people so that there's lots of personalized support from me. Another thing that is why my program's different is that a lot of programs were giving monthly group coaching calls, and I decided to make mine weekly because I just really wanted to provide that level of ongoing support. So you might think about what your program looks like in terms of the level of support and how you can give lots of support. Maybe you want to do daily texts. When I was as a weight loss coach, I had more than 50 little motivational things that I came up with, and I used to text them to my clients every single morning. Every morning they get a motivational text. My very first course, I did it in MailChimp, my online CRM, and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they would get an email, and it was Monday motivation, winning Wednesday, and Freedom Friday, and they would get like a YouTube link, they would get a little, what do you call it, like a quote, like a motivational image, and then they'd get a new recipe, and 3 times a week. So I created 36 emails because it was a 12-week program, and people just loved receiving these motivational, inspirational things in their inbox, new exercises, things like that. So think about what you can do that's a little bit different, that's really cool, that's like something I do in my program is we have a manifesto, and when we used to meet in live events, I would laminate them a manifesto. I'd put a little chocolate and a few different things in their chair when they came to the boardroom, just like that little extra care. I remember posting out in the post a card when I was running the business speaking group, and it was a card where I superimposed their face over a TED Talk speaker. So there's a TED Talk, someone delivering a TED Talk, and I got a photo of them off Facebook, and I think I did it on Canva. I put their face on that person's body, and it was like them delivering a TED Talk, and I was like, this is going to be you one day. So these quirky little things that just make things fun, it's part of the culture of what you can do to really dig on how you can be different. Like, for example, I've got an inner circle community, which is a small group, private Facebook community, and I'm in there answering questions every single day. And I know that that's different because a lot of programs, they don't have the course creator actually answering the questions every day. They get admin people. And yes, my business is going to grow, and I'm not going to be able to do it forever, but right now I can. So I really push that as a point of difference as well. So hopefully this is giving you some ideas to really think about. Dig to be different. Number 3, pinpoint your promise. Pinpoint a promise. It's like you're making a pledge to your clients. So this can be implied, not just spelled out in your USP statement, for example, but you want to think about the result, like what kind of result you are going to promise your client. If you follow all these steps, then you can get this result. So the more you can give them an outcome and say, in this program, you will get this outcome if you follow everything I share. Obviously, not everyone's going to follow it, but you know that if they follow the formula that they will get a result. So pinpoint your promise. I remember one time doing a 3-week challenge a couple of years ago where it was such a clear promise. It was a 10K, how to get to 10K, and he promised it. He said, if you do what I show you, you'll get to 10K. And I can totally see why he can stand behind that promise. So it takes courage and boldness to have a strong promise like that, but it's absolutely worth thinking about, especially if it has any type of number or dates, like lose 5 kilos in 5 weeks. You know, those types of things, people love them. My friend Natasha's doing one, how to book 3 discovery calls in 48 hours. So you got the number, you got the dates. Super powerful. All right, number 4 is comb your competitors. Comb your competitors. I wanted to use alliteration. So comb your competitors is what I recommend you do is you first of all, you look at 3 different businesses to model, 3 businesses who are above you. So they're at the next level, whatever that is, whatever that means. And you just model them. So you don't copy, but you look at their language because they've obviously done a lot of research. If they're quite ahead of you, they've really done a lot of research. So look at what they've done differently, and then look at where you can do something different or better. Yeah, ideally do something better. And if you're kind of starting out and you feel like these big companies, like, how can I beat what they're doing? It's amazing. Use the fact that you're smaller, because you can use it to your advantage, because maybe you give really personalized support. A lot of big companies can't do one-on-one anymore. They're just too busy. So use what you've got, play to your strengths. And I was talking to a client. I've got a new client in Utah. She's fabulous. Shout out to you, Mary, if you're watching. And we were talking about, she's got 3 different target markets. She's a real estate agent. And we were talking about where do we find the language that each three of them use. And my suggestion to her was to choose 3 to 5 Facebook groups to hang out in every single day for 7 days. Spend, 10, 20 minutes in there reading people's comments, reading people's questions, and you'll get a really good feel of what people want and how to language it and how you can be a little bit different. So that is comb your competitors. The final one, number 5, is start a story bank. Start a story bank. So your stories are really what makes you unique. Your unique stories. So start a story bank. So open up a Google document or a spreadsheet, something like that. Think about your ideal clients. Think about their 3 biggest pain points, their 3 biggest problems, and then think about a time in your life where you had these problems. And the way I like to do this is actually group it into decades. So from 0 to 10. When I know it sounds crazy, it's like, why would it matter what I did when I was 9 years old? Maybe there's something, some gold from you as a kid. Maybe your mum left. Maybe you went overseas. Something happened and you drew some wisdom from it. So it doesn't have to be directly related to your business, what you do now. Just think of 3 instances where you had these feelings. Let's say a pain point for someone is they can't lose weight. So you might have 3 stories from the first 10 years of your life, the first decade of your life, 3 stories where that stand out in your mind as being quite emotional because you couldn't have control of your diet, for example, or your mum made you overeat or whatever it is. 3 stories, just bang, 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 just list them out. You can work out later how to link it into your USP, but this is to just start thinking about your mystique, your combination of your stories and experiences really make up your USP. So what I do, let's say you're 45 years old, I come up with 5, so you've got 5 decades there to draw from. I'd come up with 3 stories from every decade, just 3 instances. Maybe they were turning points, maybe they were emotional experiences, times where you had some kind of pain or problem that potentially is going to relate to your ideal client, and just write them all down. So then if you're in your 40s, then you're going to have 15 different stories, and then go through and think, okay, which of these stories could I really unpack and use in my backstory when I'm talking about what led me to this point. Like I think of being a child and watching my dad go to work every single day to the same company. And I remember when he got made redundant after 40 odd years, and he didn't have a whole heap of intellectual property. And I remember there was this moment where I thought, I don't want that to happen to me. I want to have my own legacy. I want to create something. I want to build something that's mine. I don't want to pour my heart into a business or company where it's really it's not my own. When I was a teacher for 6 years, I was teaching someone else's curriculum, and that really bothered me because I wanted to be teaching my own content. So these types of stories are going to help form your unique selling proposition. So I want to share briefly, just to finish up, a story of a client that I was working with yesterday. His name's Justin Hazlett. Shout out to you, Justin. Justin is awesome. He lives in the Ukraine, and he is adopting a new daughter. And it's super exciting. I met Justin in London about 11 years ago, and we connected, and we actually ran an event together, and he contacted me out of the blue 10 years later, which was so cool. And he said, I need a coach and I want to work with you. He's got a beautiful team of people that is growing his company with him. And we've just gone through this process of defining his USP. And what we did last night is, it started off as a community dedicated to impacting orphans. So it was all about orphan care. His heart is always for orphans because that's where a lot of sex trafficking and things stem out of orphans when they don't have the family. Then we were talking about this other community that was wider and broader called Journey for More. ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And we were really toying with it, like, do we go specific? Do we go broad to make the community broader? And what we decided on was something in the middle, which is live your fullest calling by contributing to the world's most pressing needs. And we just found this in-between space where it's all about everyday people wanting to contribute to a cause that is one of the world's most pressing needs, because out of it stems so many problems like drug abuse, homelessness, all of these types of things. And it also is very inclusive of a lot of people who want to get involved without necessarily adopting a child. So it's just a beautiful example of you really need to craft it and think about where you're at in your journey, the types of clients you want to attract, how you want to be specific and clear, but also open it up so that you can really grow and expand as well. So just a little example there of how to do it. So I hope that's really helped you. I'm just going to recap the 5 fun ways to create your USP and stand out online. Number 1, unpack your uniqueness, what makes you different. Number 2, dig for the difference, what makes your program or your offer different. Number 3, pinpoint your promise, the outcome that you're going to share with your clients. Comb your competitors, so Google, do a Google search, find what other people are doing, model, look at what they're doing that you're not doing, look at what they're not doing that you could do. And number 5, start a story bank. I hope that's been really helpful. I would love to know from you, which was your favorite tip out of the 5? What are you going to do? Most importantly, what action are you going to take from this? So those of you online, pop it in the comments box. What action are you actually going to take based on what I've just been sharing? I would love to know. If you're watching this on the replay, just give me a hashtag replay so I know. And I would love to answer any questions you have. I always personally jump on and answer any questions you have. This gets uploaded into my YouTube channel tomorrow. So my assistant uploads it. And then I also send it out on a blog, so it comes up on katmillar.com. So if you've missed any of these, please visit katmillar.com, and it's got all of my previous videos. I share loads of value that can help you straight away to attract more clients and grow a profitable business doing what you love. So thank you for joining me. Pop your action in the comments box. I want to know what was helpful, what you're going to actually apply. It's one thing to hear it, another thing to actually apply it. You're so welcome, Rachel. You're welcome, you're welcome. Look forward to seeing you all next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. And please drop me a line, just PM me if you've got any questions, or if you've got any specific topics that you want me to cover in these Facebook Lives. I am here for you, my friends. I love you heaps. Take care. See you soon.